You could be an Airbnb host losing hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars every year and you don't even know it. Industry data shows that most hosts underestimate their operating costs and miss major profit opportunities that cost them thousands annually. Most hosts think they're doing everything right, but the truth is there are hidden financial leaks bleeding your profits dry. I've identified the 3 biggest money-wasting mistakes that 90% of hosts make, and I'm going to show you exactly how to stop them today. By the end of this video, you'll know how to plug these profit drains immediately. Let's start with the mistake that's probably costing you the most money right now. Most hosts think they're pricing smart by copying their neighbors, but this one mistake is costing them thousands per year. I see this everywhere. You go into Airbnb, check what similar places are charging, maybe add or subtract $10 and call it good. It seems legit, right? But here's the problem with that approach. When you set your prices using Airbnb suggestions and nearby listings as your main guide, you're actually walking into a trap. Most hosts do exactly what you're doing. They look at the competition and try to match or beat those prices. This feels safe because you're not going crazy high or crazy low, but this safe approach leads to systematic underpricing because everyone's making the same mistake. Copying neighbor rates leads to an industry-wide underpricing cycle because hosts lack visibility into each other's true occupancy and profit margin. When you look at similar listings, you're seeing their prices, but you don't know their booking rates. You don't know if they're actually making money or just keeping busy. That $75 per night listing that you're trying to beat might be losing money on every guest, but you don't see that part. Here's the truth about competition-based pricing versus value-based pricing. Competition-based pricing means you set your price based on what others charge. Value-based pricing means you set your price based on what your property delivers to the guest. Research shows value-based pricing can actually boost revenue by up to 40% over simple competitor matching. Properties that focus on value highlight their fast Wi-Fi for remote workers or promote their quiet location for quality sleep and emphasize their full kitchen for longer stays. It's the same property, but it's a different story. Seasonal adjustments and dynamic pricing can add thousands to your annual revenue without any extra work. Most hosts set a base rate and maybe bump it up for holidays, but demand changes every single week. Business travelers need places Monday through Thursday, and leisure travelers want Friday through Sunday. There's wedding season, conference season, local events. All these create pricing opportunities that flat rate hosts miss completely. Studies actually show that hosts using seasonal and event-based price adjustments can capture at least 10 to 20% more revenue. Smart hosts track local events. When there's a music festival, they charge premium rates instead of their base price. When it's a slow Tuesday in February, they drop the rates to stay competitive. Over 12 months, this flexibility adds significant revenue compared to static pricing. Dynamic pricing tools can automate this for you, but you need to understand the strategy first. You can't just turn on auto pricing and hope for the best. You need to set your minimum and maximum rates based on your actual costs and your profit goals, not on what everybody else is doing. The biggest pricing mistakes that cost hosts thousands of dollars per year is copying competitor prices without understanding their booking rates and their profit margins. You're making decisions based on incomplete information. It's like driving at night with your headlights off because the car next to you doesn't have their headlights on either. But pricing isn't the only place you're losing money. There's another problem that makes your pricing mistakes even worse, and it starts with something most hosts think is too small to worry about. A tiny maintenance issue that 90% of hosts ignore turns into a massive repair bill in just weeks. And I'm talking about problems that look harmless when you first spot them. Maybe there's a small gap in the caulk around the shower, or a toilet that rocks slightly when you sit on it. These seem like no big deal. You think you'll get to them next month or when you have more time. But here's the thing about small maintenance problems. They seem harmless and easy to postpone because they don't affect your bookings immediately. Guests might not even notice them at first, but these little issues follow a predictable pattern. They start small, they stay hidden for a while, and then they explode into expensive emergencies when you least expect it. Small maintenance issues left unattended routinely become repairs costing 10 to 20 times the initial fixed price. A small leak or a worn seal can rapidly escalate into mold remediation and drywall replacement in just a few months, costing hundreds instead of the tens it would take to fix early. Now let me walk you through exactly how this happens. You notice a tiny gap in the caulking around your bathtub. The repair would cost about $20 in materials and maybe 30 minutes of your time. But you're busy with other things, and so you ignore it. Water starts seeping behind the wall. You begin seeing slight discoloration. The drywall starts to feel soft when you press on it. Visible mold growth appears, and by the time you address it, you're looking at complete drywall replacement, mold remediation, and possible subflooring damage. You have to cancel bookings while contractors fix everything. But loose caulking isn't the only culprit. Loose toilet bolts cause the same progression. The toilet rocks, breaks the wax seal, water leaks under the flooring, worn weather stripping around the windows sets moisture into wall cavities. Small roof damage turns into major leaks during the next storm. Each of these starts as a quick, cheap fix but becomes an expensive nightmare when you ignore them. And here's what makes all of this worse. Guests notice these developing problems before they become emergencies. They see the discolored walls. They feel the wobbly toilet. They mention it in their reviews. And other potential guests read those reviews and they book somewhere else. And now you lose money from the repair and from lost bookings. The compound effect works against you in every direction. Your property looks less appealing, your reviews get worse, your booking rates drop, you charge less to compete, and meanwhile the actual problem keeps getting more expensive to fix. It's like watching money drain out of your bank account in slow motion. Industry experts recommend budgeting at least 1 to 3% of property value annually for maintenance to avoid these emergencies. The truth is, preventative maintenance isn't just about keeping your property nice, it's about protecting your profit margins. Every small problem you catch early saves you hundreds later. Every big problem you prevent keeps money in your pocket instead of going to contractors. But maintenance isn't the only area where small oversights create big financial losses. There's another process that happens with every single guest turnover that's quietly draining your profits. It's the bad review. And it's not the 3-star review that hurts. It's the 20 future bookings you just lost because of it. Most hosts think a bad review is just a bruise to their ego. Maybe it stings for a day or two, then you move on. But here's what actually happens when you get that negative review. It's a financial wound that keeps bleeding for months. Potential guests don't give you a second chance. They scroll through listings, see your 4.2 rating next to someone else's 4.8, and they click away. You never get the chance to explain what went wrong or show them how you've improved. One bad experience tanks your visibility and your bookings because the algorithm pushes higher rated properties to the top of search results. Let me break down the real problem behind most bad reviews. It's not just about cleanliness or major issues, it's missing basic amenities that guests expect. Poor communication before and during their stay, and unclear check-in instructions that leave people standing outside the door at midnight. Inconsistent experiences where some guests get quick responses and others wait hours for help. Here's the difference between hosts who avoid these problems and those who don't. Smart hosts stock every basic item guests might need. Extra phone chargers, coffee pods, toiletries, clean towels in obvious places. They send detailed instructions 3 days before check-in, not 3 hours. They respond to messages within 30 minutes during business hours. They create systems so every guest gets the same great experience. Compare that to hosts with generic setups and no follow-ups. They assume the guests will figure things out. They respond when they remember to check messages. They stock the bare minimum and hope guests don't need anything extra. These hosts get surprised by negative reviews because they don't see the gaps in their process. The hidden costs of bad reviews go way beyond hurt feelings. You start offering damage control, partial refunds to unhappy guests, discount offers to future guests to offset your lower rating. You lose your superhost status, which comes with booking bonuses and priority placement. Your ranking drops in search results, so fewer people even see your listing. Here's how the math works against you. One bad stay equals a $300 refund plus a 20% drop in bookings the following month. That's thousands in lost revenue from a single negative experience. So your property goes from booked 25 nights per month to 20 nights per month. At $100 per night, you lose $500 monthly. Over a year, that one bad review cost you $6,000 in missed bookings. Just 2 or 3 negative experiences per year can cost you over $10,000 in missed income. The financial impact compounds because each bad review makes the next booking harder to get. Your conversion rate drops. You have to lower your prices to compete with higher rated properties, and you spend more on advertising to get the same booking volume. What do guests actually care about, and how can you consistently deliver it? Clarity in communication, speed in responses, comfort and basic amenities, and thoughtful details that show that you care about their experience. They want clean spaces, but they also want working Wi-Fi. They want clear instructions and quick help when something goes wrong. They want to feel welcomed, not like they're imposing on your schedule. Some of the worst guest experiences aren't about hospitality during their stay. They're about what happens after checkout, when cleaning problems create emergencies and force you to cancel future bookings at the last minute. These 3 profit drains compound each other, creating a cycle that gets worse over time. Hosts making all 3 mistakes lose thousands annually without realizing it. Poor pricing reduces your revenue potential. Ignored maintenance creates emergency repair costs that force booking cancellations. And bad reviews create hard to fix problems that hurt your booking rates. You can fix this immediately. Audit your pricing this week using tools like AirDNA or Price Labs. Schedule monthly maintenance checks to catch problems early. Optimize your processes to maintain exceptional quality. Run a quick maintenance audit checklist on your next property visit and try using a dynamic pricing tool to help you with your rates. Every day you wait costs you money that you'll never get back. So start today.